Hey everyone, it's Alicia and I am here with a 12 by 12 process video for Clique Kits. I'm using the Click into December kit and I am guest designing for them this month. So let's get started. So I'm starting here with a piece of 12 by 12 cardstock that I'm just cutting down, and this beautiful piece of Christmas Wishes paper by PinkFresh Studio. And my plan here is I kind of had an idea in my head and I wanted to mat a bunch of, not a bunch, pattern paper and this white cardstock. And so I'm just cutting them down to size and seeing how I'm feeling about the look of it. And I decided I want something a little bit bolder. So I decided to grab out this October afternoon piece of paper. I think that's from under the tree. And I'm just, yeah, storytelling under the tree, I believe. Yep. And and I'm liking that a lot better. It's just it's a little more bold because of the dark color and the busier pattern. And so I'm going to do that. So you can see I cut out the middle there, and I'm just putting a little bit of adhesive around the edge just to hold in place because I'm going to end up stitching through that. And but this wasn't the end of it. I wanted to continue matting, so I'm going to bring back that PinkFresh paper, and I'm just kind of measuring out. I'm going to mark with a pencil where to cut because I want to add another mat, and then another piece of the white cardstock on top of it. So I figured to utilize as much paper as I could, I would just keep cutting out the middles of them. Plus, I didn't want my layout to be too thick. So again, just lightly putting adhesive around the sides, and I'm going to mat that down. And I'm sorry, I do end up putting a white piece of cardstock on top of this, but it's not going to be a direct mat on top of that striped paper because I wanted that to show through. I loved that paper so much. So I decided to do the second piece of white cardstock at a diamond shape. So, just rotating it until it was a diamond shape. So I cut that down to size, and then I'm going to mat that again in that black paper. So I'm just showing you here, it's all stuck down, and I did some stitching with some red around the sides, and then I did white for the diamond portion. And I did that off camera. It's just easier for me to do it that way. And plus, my red thread was giving me a bit of a headache, so it took a long time. So I'm going to move on to the actual layout portion now. So I'm matting this photo onto a piece of the silver glitter POW paper that came in the kit, and it just adds a really nice sparkle around the edge. And then this red piece came from the a piece of Christmas Wishes pattern paper, and it has a bunch of different blocks on the back of it that you can cut apart if you like. So I just cut a red piece because I wanted to bring in more red to the photo. Red is kind of an accent color on this layout, so I really wanted to bring that out in certain areas, and I just placed that at the very top corner of the photo. Now these are the puffy alphabets from PinkFresh Studio, and they are just lovely. I love them. They feel so good. And so I'm just going to spell out my title, which is just going to be Angel. And I didn't know where I for sure wanted to put it, so I just stuck it on my ruler there, and that way I can move it around when I get ready. So I knew for sure I wanted to pull out that hashtag flare. It says hashtag silent night. But then I felt like, as I was looking through my embellishments, I wanted just one more layer, a subtle layer under my photo. And so I actually grabbed one of the glassine bags that some of the embellishments came in when you receive your kit. And I just cut one apart and used both layers of the bag, like the front and the back of the bag, and stapled them together. And it just creates just a nice subtle layer under the photo, which is exactly what I wanted, almost like a vellum would do. And now I'm going to start playing with embellishments. So these are from the die cut pack. I don't end up using them, but I wanted to. I love frames, but I think those will be great to use in my December daily, which I'm also using this kit for. So I just pulled out some of the embellishments from the die cut pack that I thought would work in a pile there. And so I'm just kind of shopping them around the layout, trying to figure out what I want to use. I knew I wanted to use that Christmas tree and that piece. And then those presents to the side are going to stay there, but I'm going to swap that red one out for the blue one. And then that's a little typewriter word that says "'Tis the season to be jolly." And so that's pretty much where those embellishments are going to sit, other than that word phrase die cut at the top of the picture. And the title won't be there. But that's kind of the general idea. So I'm going to go ahead and start sticking stuff down, starting with my photo. And I really wanted there to be dimension on this page, and so I'm going to pop up a lot of these flat die cuts so that there is some levels to the page. And so I popped up that word piece, and I'm going to pop up this blue present and just layer them on top of the other presents. And I'm going to tuck that flare in under that piece, but I won't do that until later, but that is where it will be. So I decided to put my title just at the top of the photo, and I'm going to move this word phrase die cut to the bottom of the photo. I'm just going to go ahead and stick that down. So now I'm using some of the puffy stickers. These are the ones that come with this collection. There is also another pack that I'll be using that is an exclusive, and you can find that in the shop for a separate purchase if you would like to own that, and I will link that below. So I'm just going ahead. I popped up that bird puffy sticker. I love that puffy sticker. I already used the die cut of it on a previous project. And I just am kind of scattering in some of the puffy stars as well. And then that little mouse, that's from the exclusive puffy sticker sheet, and he's just so cute. And I love how he's looking at my daughter. And my daughter is looking at the tree. They're looking in the same direction. So I thought that was nice. And then I added a couple of those acrylic stars. I love that acrylic shape sheet. I found I wanted to use a lot on this layout because it's lighter, and like the white cardstock that's solid, you're able to see them better than if you place them like on a pattern paper. So yeah, that top corner of the diamond, or that top side of the diamond, was looking bare to me. So I'm going to grab some of these labels to kind of balance out the photo cluster and that bareness up there. And that red one was already cut from something else. I used the other half on something else. So I just did the same with this blue, and I'm going to layer them. And I really love how that looks. And that is actually going to house my journaling for this photo. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick those down, and I think it just balances out perfectly um, where it's so heavy, where the photo is. So those are stuck down, and I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of journaling about this photo. And I am using my slick writer just because they are a little glossy, the die cuts. So I'm going to cut this word magic out of the acrylic shapes, and I love that font. Like, that outline font is my favorite font. And so I'm going to place that right above the journaling on that diagonal line. And I love that you can see it, but it's not so bold because it's the same color as the stripes in the pattern paper. It's just not so bold that it takes away from anything, but it adds something. So I loved that. And I grabbed a little puffy star, and I'm going to place it right over the eye in magic. And I'm going to go ahead and stick this flare down, and I'm just using some score tape for that. And now I am going to, I should add, I did also add a rubber charm banner underneath that word phrase sticker under the photo. And I just thought that looked nice down there. And the textures, there's so many textures in the different embellishments in this line that it just, your pages end up looking really cool. And so, yeah, I'm taking some of the exclusive sequins. These are by PinkFresh, and these also come in the kit, but you can also buy them separately from this Clique Kits store. So I also will link those below. And I'm just scattering them, kind of trying to achieve that confetti look. And so I'm just scattering them strategically here and there. And I'm going to go ahead and glue all those down. And for gluing sequins down, I like to use the Tombow Aqua because it's a clear glue. And yeah, I just find it works really well. Sometimes I'll also use glue dots. So, okay, you're about to see a fail. I'm trying to do splatters, and I have been having the hardest time with my color shines lately. They worked great for me for a while, but some of them I've had for, since they came out, and they're not working as well anymore. They're not making good circles. They're like kind of make a weird blob look. And then they're just thick and I have a hard time getting them off. So yeah, and then I smudged it. That's the fail. I smudged a huge one. So I have to go back to the die cuts to try to find something to cover that. And I'm going to go with this circle 25th piece that covered it up perfectly. And I'm going to add a little puffy star to it. And I felt like it kind of blended in with the confetti. That definitely wasn't a planned move, but at least it was able to be saved. And then I should have used this one in the beginning. That's the Tim Holtz silver color. And that one splatters so much better. So I wish I would have just used that one in the beginning. Between the two splatters, it ended up being a little busier than I had intended, but I still love how it turned out. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you are interested in this kit, there's still time to grab it. I will link Clique Kits below so that you can go directly to it and get all the info. And I hope you guys enjoyed the layout. Bye!